It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Wednesday, the 14th of November. I'm Michael Groff. A gradual warming trend through the rest of the week and into the weekend. Temperatures getting back to near average. We'll see periods of high clouds. Early next week, a little bit of forecast uncertainty. Could we see some rain for Thanksgiving week? And what about that Thanksgiving Day forecast? We'll talk about all of it. First, we'll look at the almanac from yesterday. That's my kind of day right there. 68 for the high, 47 for the morning low. Outside right now, here at 5:55 a.m. Clear skies in the valley. We begin this day at 54 degrees at Sky Harbor. The dew point at 12. So yes, it's bone dry. Relative humidity 19%. Wind from the east-northeast at 11. Gusts to 18 miles per hour. And that's helped to hold the temperatures up overnight. And the pressure 30.33 inches and steady. Temperatures around the area this morning all over the place. It's in the mid-30s at Fort McDowell and in the North Valley, 38 Buckeye, 40 at El Mirage. Meanwhile, you've got mid-50s in a few spots. Around the nation, it's actually a bit warmer this morning in the northern Rockies. Temperatures above freezing. Meanwhile, teens and 20s continue across parts of the Plain States, and that cold air continues to march south and eastward across the country. The upper look... There's our deep low that came through here a couple of days ago. It's now near the Arklatex as our trough has sort of split into two. The other piece is up there in Canada. And our flow pattern is beginning to relax a little bit. So we'll start to see some high clouds and some of that smoke from those wildfires in California drifting our way in coming days. The watch warning maps still have red flag warnings across parts of California. And some wind will still be a problem with very dry conditions. Meanwhile, freeze warnings from South Texas through the Gulf Coast and parts of Alabama. Flash flood watches for sections of Georgia into the middle Atlantic coast, and winter weather advisories from the Ohio Valley dipping southward all the way into parts of northern Mississippi. Places like Greenville, you could see some snowflakes or some freezing rain this afternoon and tonight. Convective outlook with a pretty cold air mass across most of the country. No organized areas of severe weather expected. Rainfall for the next 7 days coming from the WPC. Not a whole lot across Arizona. Some light precip possible, and this could be with our system that comes through here Monday or Tuesday of next week. We'll talk about the details of that and everything else as we get into the models right now. Here we go to the GFS, the 06Z run valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. There's your upper look, our deep low over Arkansas later this afternoon. Some cold, wintry conditions down that way. Around here, ridging building in from the west, the pattern starts to relax, de-amplify just a bit, so a dry northwesterly flow. And down at the surface today, mostly sunny this morning, partly cloudy this afternoon. High temperatures somewhere in the upper 60s and low 70s as our warming trend begins. Tonight, partly cloudy, lows in the 40s to near 50. And then tomorrow, partly sunny skies as some high clouds and maybe some haze from the wildfires across California. Some of that smoke in the upper atmosphere comes on through. So highs low to mid 70s. Same thing on Friday, partly sunny, low to mid 70s. And then the weekend, we'll see a split flow develop across much of the continental United States and North America. So a zonal flow, kind of a westerly flow. Still, high clouds will be coming through from time to time. The effects on our weather will be nominal, at least in the short term, with highs in the low to mid 70s. We might tack on a degree or two to our highs this weekend. And those overnight lows should mainly be in the 40s and low 50s. Now, as we get to Monday, we've got a low approaching from the west. It still looks like a low amplitude system, and that means it's just not going to have a whole lot of punch to it, not going to be able to advect a lot of moisture from the subtropics into our area. It may have some weak dynamics with it, and certainly some clouds would be here. Maybe some showers, a sprinkle or two in Southern California. Just doesn't look like it's going to have a whole lot to it, unfortunately. And high temperatures still somewhere in the low to mid 70s. Here's Tuesday, and again, we see some showers showing up across northern and eastern Arizona with this feature, but anything that happens would be very light and spotty. Couldn't rule out a sprinkle maybe here in the valley. We'll see how this develops. It may evolve, and it may have a little bit more moisture with it, but right now, the atmosphere here across the western states is so dry thanks to the passage of that recent trough, it would take a significant amount of moisture to really get the atmosphere juiced up again. All right, let's go to a week from today. This is Wednesday, the 21st. That weak wave moves off into the southern plain states. A short wave ridge in here. High temperatures back into the mid 70s. Then here we go to Thanksgiving Day. Pretty deep trough approaching the west coast. And a southwesterly flow begins to develop here. Some clouds back on the increase once again. But Thanksgiving Day looks absolutely fantastic here. Highs likely in the low and middle 70s. and conditions to stay dry. And then here's the end of the forecast period. This is Friday the 23rd, Black Friday. And that cold upper trough moves on the west coast now. And we're going to see some more unsettled conditions potentially if this verifies. We've seen some different looks out here. There's not a whole lot of confidence in this solution right now. The European shows a trough, but it's not nearly as deep. The likelihood here is that somewhat cooler conditions will start to come in as we get toward the latter half of the Thanksgiving weekend, with the possibility of some showers in some spots. And if we check the GFS ensemble, the temperatures there through the period, and it kind of verifies that with highs staying mostly in the 70s, lows primarily in the 50s through at least Thanksgiving Day and maybe Friday, and then temperatures cooling off for the latter half of the Thanksgiving weekend and beyond. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. If you like our videos, be sure to subscribe so that whenever we post a brand new one, you'll get the notifications. Plus, your comments, questions, suggestions, all your feedback is always encouraged. Really do appreciate that. Be safe out there. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and here's your forecast.